I'm live. Hello, everyone. I making sure my sound is still on. So I'm super excited to join you this evening. Today's topic for Facebook Live is something that I've been talking a little bit about in the group. Tech issues today, which is about sleep. One of the major symptoms associated with anxiety is sleep issues. And this shows up for women in a variety of different ways. It can be that you can't fall asleep at night, that you wake up between 1 and 3, or you wake up between 3 and 5, or you wake up and you're not rested, or maybe all of the above. And this is something we actually get to in my program called the Holistic Anxiety Fix. And this is a 12-week program that I've designed to really start to look at the root causes of anxiety. And we spend an entire week looking at the connection between anxiety and sleep and building in sleep strategies. So, I know if you've really struggled with sleep, it can be completely debilitating. Oftentimes, what happens is there's this fear around sleep. So, you don't want to go to bed because you know you're not going to be able to sleep at night. And so, you're up late, sort of doing random stuff, or you're so exhausted and then you go, lie in bed and you're like, yes, tonight I'm going to sleep. And then that is the night that you wake up completely panicked, and you don't get any rest at all, or you wake up and you can't get back to sleep. And then it becomes this vicious cycle where you're tired during the day, you're dragging yourself through the day, you can't focus on what you're doing, you can't wait to get in bed at night, and then your mind races all night long. I've also heard from a lot of people that they solve the world's problems instead of going to sleep. And so they're just like, mind just can't get their mind settled down at all, can't fall into that sweet slumber. And so, for a lot of people, medication is the go-to to help them get to sleep. Supplements like L-theanine, passion flower, melatonin, 5-HTP, those can all be really great options to support sleep strategies. But what the challenge is, and what most people don't realize about sleep, is that these things aren't necessarily getting to the root cause of why you aren't sleeping in the first place. So often what's happening when sleep is disrupted is that cortisol is being raised when you are supposed to be sleeping, and it's counterbalancing or counteracting the melatonin, which naturally is produced and helps the body to sleep. And so your job then becomes figuring out what is causing your cortisol to go higher. So while the symptoms are anxiety and stress and waking up with a panic attack, the root cause isn't necessarily just a mindset piece, but the question is, what is causing your body to be so stressed out that the cortisol levels are still being produced in response to stress? So there can be many different reasons. One of the reasons can be that you're simply just doing too much during the day. And so, you're running after kids or working or doing both, or you're working long hours and you're not giving yourself that downtime. And so you're going into sleep with your cortisol completely peaked. So that is one major reason. The other reasons tend to be more hidden. So gut issues can be a major cause of sleep disruption. And this is because gut bugs are very active at night. They stress out the body, which creates more cortisol issues. And then the cycle continues. The other challenge that often exists, things like mold can be it. Heavy metals can sometimes dump at night. So for example, copper toxicity can be another reason. Another big one that I tend to see Our blood sugar imbalances. So if you're riding that blood sugar roller coaster, if you're hangry, if you're not eating regularly, if your meals are all over the place, and then you're going to bed at night and you wake up between 1 and 3, it's likely because your blood sugar has crashed, which has resulted in you raising your cortisol up, which is what's actually getting you out of bed. Blue light is actually another reason. So if you're watching TV late at night, this can actually cause an increase in cortisol. And so, or on your screens, right? So there's lots of reasons why you might not be sleeping at night. So when you're looking at them, it's really important to realize that it is possible to get your sleep back on track. Absolutely. You do not need to live with this. B, you don't need to use medication to do this. And C, it's really, really important that you get to the root causes of why you're actually struggling with sleep in the first place. Because just using that supplement, you're just going to be dependent on that in the same way that you may have been dependent on medication, and you're not really getting to the why you have sleep issues in the first place. And by the way, a lot of the causes of sleep issues are also root causes to anxiety in general, because when our nervous system is overstimulated, then we're going to be producing lots of cortisol, and lots of stress and anxiety is going to be something we're going to be experiencing. So if you have sleep difficulties, let me know below. Just type me if that's you. Take care and have a good night.